Hello, everyone. Today is Monday, June 17, 2019. Welcome to the latest class in the Summer of Learning sessions with Hohman Homes and HHRG. My name is Nico Hohman, and I'm the broker of Hohman Homes and the president of HHRG. And today's class, we're going to be talking about TransactionDesk. TransactionDesk is a contract management software found in the Stellar MLS suite of software. You get access to this as a member of Hohman Homes and a member of the Realtor Association and the MLS. And it is the contract management software that we use to manage all of your contracts. So once you are in the process of negotiating or writing a contract for a potential buyer, seller, landlord, or a tenant, all of these documents and all the transaction review process goes through TransactionDesk. So to get started, we first log into the Clarity dashboard in the MLS. So you go to the Stellar MLS homepage, you log into the Clarity dashboard here, and you're given some core tools, some suite of software that you can use for your business. You can see here TransactionDesk is right here as one of those pieces of software that you can use. Also important to that is Matrix, the MLS access software. So when you open up, and for example, we'll use this one right here. So when you log into your dashboard here, this is what you're going to see. As the broker, I get to see this little red bar up here. As an agent, you won't. So this is essentially what you would look at when you open up your agent dashboard here. You have some options here on the left-hand side. As far as your actual transaction desk using Authenticsign, and then specific forms and task tools that we'll get into in a little bit. But this is your dashboard, your transaction dashboard. This will take you to where you need to go with each one of your transactions, each one of your forms, and each one of your signature requests. And so specifically, what we're going to do is we're going to assume that we have a transaction, because that's really what starts your process of using TransactionDesk, is that you have a specific transaction that you need contracts for and that you specifically need to manage those contracts. So there's a couple of different ways that we can do it. So if we go into the MLS and we look to see all the particularly new listings today, and let's say we want to write a contract on this particular home, there's a couple different ways that we can do it. First, we can go to our transaction dashboard here and start with the process by creating a transaction. Typically, I name the transaction after the property address. So I'm just going to copy the property address here, put it in here. Now at Hohman Homes, we have a couple different templates. A lot of them have to do with our property management and listing. We don't have a specific template for buying contracts, but if you have a listing agreement or a property management agreement, you can specifically use the template that the brokerage has. You can also develop your own templates. And so if you find that you're often using the same contract documents, if you're often filling in the same lines in the same contract documents, you can simply pull up a template that'll help speed the process of writing those contracts. But for now, we're going to assume we don't have a template. We do have a particular type of transaction, so we know that this is going to be a residential sale. So let's assume that we are the buyer's agent in this particular transaction, and we want to create a sale transaction for this property, knowing that we are the selling agent, the buyer's agent for this particular property. And we want to import our data. So where do we want to import this from? Well, we want to import it from Stellar MLS. Specifically going to ask us for the MLS number. So we'll just go to the MLS, copy that MLS number here and plug it in. And now we have all the information needed to create our transaction. So we're going to go click create. And now TransactionDesk is going to do its magic and create this contract for us. As we get started, you'll have a details page. Actually, we have 5 details pages. Now what it'll do is it'll go over all of the particular documents and forms and data of this particular property. And what you can do is you can review all of this information here. If you have updated information, you're more than welcome to enter it here. But again, we can update this as we update our contract as well. We'll get to specific forms, what those mean, and we'll get to documents specifically what those mean. But we'll move forward with it. And now we have created our transaction dashboard for this particular property. So if we head back to our home page, into our agent dashboard here. Now under our transactions, we have a transaction here under our transaction dashboard. So if at any time we exit TransactionDesk or the MLS and we want to come back, we can simply click here on our most recent transaction, and it'll open it up into our transaction dashboard. You'll notice here we have 4 panes, 4 windows here. These are going to tell you a little bit more about the particular contract and where you are with this transaction. First one over here is going to give you some details, so a particular overview of this particular transaction. What you're going to use most often here are your forms and your documents. Your forms are forms, contracts, and written contract templates that are approved by the Florida Realtor Association, Florida Bar Association, that we can simply input and fill in the blanks on these particular contracts. These forms are also templates, and so when we sign our forms, AuthentiSign, the e-signature program that works with TransactionDesk, already knows where to put the signatures, the dates, and the initials on those contracts. So you simply have to upload those forms to AuthentiSign, and it knows exactly where to put it. A document's a little bit different. Document is any PDF that we upload that isn't a specific template to TransactionDesk. Now, it might be the same contract documents. It could be a seller's property disclosure. And while those are standardized templates, since they're a PDF form that we're uploading ourselves, that's what we'll need to do. So a great example here is we have some attachments. So if we go to our MLS listing sheet for this particular property and we click on the attachments icon here, it opens up a new page, and we have several new attachments, addendums, and some documents that we can add to the contract. So what we can do is we will download all of these. We have the HOA, so we'll open up the HOA, and we'll save it to our desk. So we'll call this one the HOA addendum. We have another one here that's called the Community Development District Addendum, or the CDD addendum here. And we also have several other addendums here that we could simply download and fill out as necessary. So for this particular example, we want to upload some documents here. And so specifically, we know that we have our CDD and our HOA documents. And so now in our transaction dashboard, we have the CDD addendum and the HOA addendum that were provided to us by the listing agent for this particular listing. Again, we're assuming that we're a buyer's agent. And so what we'll need to do is upload and create documents. So for this example, let's assume that we're going to be using the as-is contract. So what we'll do is, if you missed that, we go over to our forms here and we click this plus icon. We want to add a form to our transaction dashboard. And for us, we know we want to add the as-is contract. So we can simply search as-is, and right here, the as-is residential contract for sale and purchase. The one that was recently updated this month in June of 2019. We're going to be adding this to our forms. Let's say that this home was built prior to 1978. We need to add a lead base paint addendum. If we were using FHA financing, we'd add the FHA financing addendum. If this home, if we wanted to have our buyers occupy it before closing, we would add that addendum. And so we can go there. But for now, let's assume that all we need to add is the appraisal addendum on top of that as well. We have here the appraisal contingency that we're going to be adding. Great. So for this particular contract here, now we're not necessarily going to go into the details on how to fill out the contract and what's an appropriate negotiation style. What we're simply trying to do is figure out how to use TransactionDesk and how the process works. So we have specific forms here and specific documents. We have the as-is form, we have the appraisal form, we have the CDD document, and we have the HOA document. And notice the difference between a form and a document. 2 forms, 2 documents here. So what we can do is now, let's say we fill out all of these contracts and we want to get them signed. So let's say we go into this particular as-is contract and we say, okay, we have Mr. and Mrs. Seller here, and individual buyer. I know that's spelled wrong, but we'll go with it. And let's say we fill out the rest of our contract here. We add certain dates and requirements and things like that. And so we know, okay, everything's filled out. We also have the appraisal. We have the homeowners association as well. And we also have the CDD. And now we have everything all checked out. So what we're going to do, we're going to go File, Save, and then we will exit this document here. And great. So now we've filled out all of the contract documents that we need to submit our offer. From there, we can go over to Authentisign. And now Authentisign, we can add a new transactions, assuming we have it. And now going back to our agent dashboard here, we have our transaction. So that's one way to set it up. Another way, so if we go to our MLS listing page, we have a couple different icons here. So we talked about the attachment there for adding particular attachments to the contract. We also have this TD icon, this Transaction Desk icon. If we click on that Transaction Desk icon specifically from our MLS listing, it will automatically start the wizard process that opens up a contract. And so instead of going through the entire clicking your own transaction, importing all the data yourself, the Stellar MLS automatically knows where that data is coming from, and we can create that transaction how we want to. So heading back into our dashboard here, we can see it. One of the best features of TransactionDesk is that I, as a broker, can help you with your transactions. So I can specifically look into your transaction folders, and if you have a question, we can be both working on the process and the file at the same time. Whether I need to add some particular forms, or we need to remove some documents, or fix some things with it, we have the ability to do that as well. So that's a pretty quick overview of TransactionDesk. Should you have any questions with it, certainly let me know. You can talk about, or you can watch our video on Authentisign to specifically see how to use the Authentisign process. But this was just to give you a brief overview on how TransactionDesk works. And so I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?